English.
Very, very, very true. Taylor Jenkins goes off on the officials after the game, calling the officiating inconsistent and arrogant. Was an interesting way to put it. Says, I know we got to get better. And then you laid out the disparity in terms of fouls. 33 called on Memphis, 23 on Minnesota, 40 free throw attempts for Minnesota, 25 for Memphis. Again, from my spot, I didn't really see any sort of. I saw individual calls I didn't get. I actually saw a couple calls that could have gone against Cat, where I still don't think he's smart about some of the shoves that he does. I don't think he's subtle, but regardless, I didn't see it as, oh my God, one team or the other is getting screwed. What did you make of what Jenkins had to say?
Yeah, the way that I would put it, Dan, is I do think that I think probably the Grizzlies got a bad whistle in the game. Now, earlier on in the series, they've benefited from the whistle. I mean, in general, in this series, I think the total foul call count is 111 for the Wolves and 99 for the Grizzlies. So, in aggregate, I think that probably the Grizzlies have benefited. They shot, I think, 43 free throws in game one. They've had the edge there. But in this game, I thought there were some bad calls. But I think I don't want to say one team, really benefited over the other so much. But I just think in general, Dan, this is the playoffs, and there are just too many whistles. Just too many. That game lasted 2 hours and 50-some minutes, in large part because of all the whistles. And some of them were very legitimate, and certainly you had to call a lot of those fouls. But there are some that were just, hey, this is a play on. Just if there's a little bit of contact, anything like that, just let them play. Let the game get some flow to it. You don't have to call every one. John Hollinger from The Athletic did a story earlier this week that kind of really did a lot of data analysis of the way games are being officiated all playoffs, and it's just so many more whistles than normally happen in a playoff, in aggregate. So, I understand his frustration. I mean, the arrogant word is definitely out of bounds, and that's going to cause a hammer to come down on him. But in general, I understand frustration from both sides, and just the activity and the presence of the officials, and not trying to kind of disappear into the game a little bit more.
We mentioned Jordan McLaughlin and his really outstanding contribution